Sorry about the mask, a necessity I'm afraid. For the last few weeks I've been doing pretty much exclusively daytime photography. I've really missed being able to do sunrises and sunsets because of the curfew. At the moment I'm not sure what's going to happen with the curfew ending. This morning, despite the fact the curfew is still in place, I'm trying for a sunrise shoot. I've come out at dead on 6 AM, which is when the curfew ends, and I'm going to head up in the general direction of El Bagnet, a local favourite of mine, which hopefully I can get to in time to get any decent light, if we get any decent light. I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you do, and you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. Okay guys, so I've set up for a first shot just down on the edge of the baths, if you like, and I'll try and talk you through it. All I've got is this sort of pattern of rocks in the foreground here. There's this one little kind of arch-shaped rock that has some light coming through it. At the moment the horizon is almost across the middle of the scene because I'm going to crop some of the sky out to a 16:9 crop. I'm going to do my first shot at 30 seconds for the shadow detail, so we'll fire that one off now. So that's my first shot, and you can see the way hopefully it's working is this rock here, this pool here creates a line going across, and that intersects with the way the rock is pointing across the scene, which is going to be towards the brighter areas. But obviously if I look at that, you can see that the sky is completely blown out. So I'm going to do another shot now exposed for the sky, pulling it back until my histogram is no longer clipping the highlights, which is about 4 seconds. I'm going to do 3.2 seconds. And that's giving me all of the sky detail that I want. A little tiny bit of blown highlights on the horizon there, probably recoverable in post. I have discovered that the histogram and the highlights warning on this is more sensitive perhaps than I'm used to, but just to be on the safe side, let's do one at 2 seconds, just in case. And then I'll blend those with some layer masking in Photoshop probably. Okay, I've set up another shot here. What I've noticed is some patterns in the little rock pools, little tiny pools here, that kind of, if I get low down to it with a wide angle lens, they create a sort of little meandering line out to then a space in the bigger space in the sea over there, and then out to the wider scene with hopefully a nice glow out on the horizon. I'll try and show you. So what you can see is the cameras here, these pools are creating this kind of wavy line pattern out. Move up a little bit. Then we've got this big open area here, and then open sea, and then up to the sky up above. I'm probably going to have to focus stack this, so probably one shot on the foreground, one part way in and one on the far distance. Okay. Yep, that's one focused on the foreground. And let's bring up my exposure info. Yeah, so I'm going to do the foreground at probably about 4 seconds. Okay, then what we'll do is we'll go into about the mid-ground. Focus on that. Perfect, another one. Then I'm going to do one right out, I think, on the horizon out there. Let's focus on that. Yeah. And then I'm going to do a much shorter exposure for the sky, which will also be focused on the horizon. So I'm going to pull that all the way back to, say, 1/5 of a second. There's some beautiful coloured cloud inland, kind of sitting over the top of Cabet-Thondoloro mountain, and there's quite nice clouds sitting out across the top over Puig Campana mountain, across the scene there, across the Benidorm and the Sierra Lada. But there's nothing much kind of in the direction that I really want to be shooting. But I'll tell you what, it's just nice to be out this early for a change. It's lovely. There's also some quite nice clouds out that way. But again, I'm not really feeling there's an image that way. I'm wondering about maybe a telephoto shot. I did think about trying to do something pointing out at Cabet-Thondoloro with that cloud over the top, but it doesn't work. But looking out that way towards Benidorm, I know there's quite a nice feel there, so I'm wondering if there's a shot to do there. So I'm going to throw on the long lens and just see what we can do. Okay, the sun's coming up now, and I've played around with that long focal length, but I didn't think it was working. So instead, I've tried going back to what I did before. So again, it's the meandering patterns coming in, and then the sun coming up. And I'm going to have to do 2 exposures, one for the foreground, which is going to obviously blow the highlights out in the sky, and then we'll do another one for the sky. I'm actually going to try an f/22 shot focused on the sun. Just see if that works. I'm getting a little bit of a sun star at f/22. Okay, and then what we'll do now is a nice shot on the foreground. I'm going to pull back to f/11. Exposure up so it's good for the foreground. And then we'll focus in on the foreground. Hopefully get some nice light on it as well. And I'll do one in the middle as well. I've put the horizon across the middle on this at the moment, but I'm probably going to crop some of the sky out. So maybe take it to a 5x7 or maybe even 8x10 format. Oh, okay, the sun is well up now, and I am so glad I tried this morning. I don't know whether I've got fantastic images, but it's just been so nice to be out at this time of day, and I'm hoping that the curfew gets lifted at some point in the not too distant future, so I can do some more of this and maybe do some at the other end of the day as well. But yeah, definitely worth coming out this morning, regardless of the quality of the images. And now it's time to head for home because I need coffee and I need breakfast. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a like, share it on social media, leave me a comment. And if you're new here and you've enjoyed this, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. As always, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, so thank you very much. And until the next video, bye.